This 27-year-old promiscuous woman had an insatiable sexual appetite. When one husband could no longer satisfy her perverse desires, she sought out several young, innocent men to fulfill her needs. When one of these naive men discovered the truth about her, he became so enraged that he strangled the woman to death. This tragic case is one of the most regrettable to ever occur in Suzhou, Jiangsu Province. But what secrets are still hidden behind this story? The scene begins with a phone call to the Wujiang District Police. A man reported a murder. When the police arrived at the scene and investigated, they discovered the body of a woman. There was a distinct ligature mark around her neck, and the coroner determined that she had been strangled with a cord. The woman had been dead for over 72 hours. The room was in disarray, and all of the victim's valuable possessions, including a recently purchased BMW, were missing. Following the initial investigation, the Suzhou Public Security Bureau set up a special task force. The first suspect was the man who made the call. The woman, Mei, was 27 years old, and the man who called, Wang, had been her ex-husband. Though divorced, they had remained very close. According to Wang, even after their divorce, they were still intimate and he often stayed at her place. Mei had been missing for several days, which is why Wang had gone to her apartment to look for her. However, the police grew suspicious when they found out Wang hadn't entered using a key but had climbed in through the balcony. If their relationship was as close as Wang claimed, why wouldn't he have a key? If they were living together, it would be more natural for him to have access through the door rather than the window. Further investigation revealed that Wang had entered the apartment on January 28, while Mei had likely died on January 26, according to the medical examiner. Wang hadn't reported her death immediately, which further raised doubts. He claimed he was only there to collect some belongings and hadn't noticed Mei's body, which was under the bed at the time. When the police spoke to Mei's brother, they learned that Wang was 8 years older than Mei, and the two had been married for 10 years, during which time they divorced 3 times due to constant arguments. Despite their tumultuous relationship, they always seemed to reconcile. Several divorce and marriage certificates were found in their home. It turned out that Wang's job often required late-night socializing, and during one of these occasions, Mei had discovered messages from other women on Wang's phone. This led to frequent fights between the two. Could Wang have been the one to kill Mei? Wang then provided a crucial piece of information during questioning. He mentioned that on the night of January 25, while he and Mei were sleeping, a young man came knocking on the door. Mei told Wang the man was there because she owed him money. The man banged on the door persistently, and when Mei finally opened it, the man attempted to assault Wang. Fortunately, Mei managed to stop him. After this altercation, Wang left the apartment and never saw Mei again. Wang's story didn't fully convince the police, but after further interrogation, they ruled him out as a suspect. Their attention turned to the man who had knocked on the door that night. The police reviewed the neighborhood's security footage and found that on January 26, a man had driven Mei's BMW out of the complex and never returned. After a detailed investigation, they tracked the car's movements to Shantao, Guangdong Province. With this information in hand, the police launched a manhunt and successfully apprehended the suspect. During a search of the red BMW, police found blood-stained bedsheets and the wire used to strangle Mei in the trunk. Under questioning, the man, Jean, confessed. He had met Mei at a bar in February 2012, and from the moment he first saw her, he was captivated by her beauty. Jean pursued Mei obsessively, not knowing she had already been married. Although Mei wasn't interested in a long-term relationship with Jean, she agreed to date him, thinking she could have some fun with him for a while. But Jean, who had never been in a serious relationship before, fell deeply in love and took their relationship very seriously. After several months of dating, Jean proposed to Mei, which she flatly rejected. Mei had no intention of marrying Jean, but this only made him pursue her more fervently. The night of the murder, Jean received a message from Mei that changed everything. In the message, Mei accidentally sent Jean a text meant for her boyfriend, saying, "Honey, I can't get a room tonight. Jean initially thought it was a joke, but when May realized her mistake, she confessed to Jean that she had a boyfriend. Devastated, Jean demanded to see May and get an explanation, but she refused. That night, Jean went to May's apartment and saw the lights on inside. He could hear May and Wang laughing together, which enraged him. Jean stood outside knocking on the door for 4 hours until May finally opened it. She tried to explain that her relationship with Wang was only because of some unpaid debts. After convincing Wang to leave, May turned on Jean, accusing him of ruining her life. Enraged by her words, Jean grabbed an electrical cord and strangled May. After killing her, he stole her valuables, including the BMW, and fled Jiangsu province. This case serves as a tragic reminder of the consequences of uncontrolled emotions. It's a shame that such a young life was lost in this way. Let this be a lesson to everyone: follow the law and act rationally.